Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion on exploration of emerging technologies and their impact in propelling innovation. My name is Ashwini, and I'll moderate the discussion. And with me, we have three esteemed panelists. Jaspreet is in GT, is responsible for cybersecurity, has been in the area for 21 years, and has been instrumental to provide services to who's who of Indian businesses in cybersecurity and in blockchain. With me, Debajit is CEO and President of MOL, the shipping company from Japan. He is headquartered currently in Kolkata and is in charge of ICT implementation and AI intervention in shipping processes. With me, CP, popularly called CP, Chandi Prasad Ojha from LTI Mindtree. He is the CTO-Insurance. He has been instrumental for AI implementation, Gen AI, and I came to know that they are planning for a COE in quantum computing. So he will share further during the course of time. And I'm Ashwini from Batoi Systems. We are focused in automating software engineering and working in AI and quantum computing. So this discussion would be structured with 4 rounds. Initially, we'll be covering the initial opinion and then deep insights, a use case from each one, and then we'll conclude with a futuristic opinion. So let's start with Jaspreet. So you just arrived, so let's energize. Okay. So please tell which emerging technology is the most important in your opinion and why?
Very important question from an emerging technologies perspective. Today it's impossible to go to a meeting and not talk about cloud, blockchain, AI, Hello? Yeah. I think, thank you, NASCOM, for having me on this esteemed panel. Very interesting question. Today it's impossible to go to a meeting and not talk about AI, blockchain, metaverse, or any of the emerging technologies, right? But what I do for a living is I help organizations safeguard themselves from cyber threats. I would like to talk about the imminent threat of cybersecurity. It's everywhere, 24/7. Look at your personal email, look at your official email, look at the kind of messages that you get asking you to switch off. They'll cut your electricity if you don't give power, if you don't give the bill within 2 hours, so on and so forth, right? So before you embrace any emerging technology, how will that technology play in your organization from a cybersecurity perspective? I think it's become very, very important. Gone are the days when cybersecurity was an afterthought. I would now say even before you conceive the idea of a product or look at an emerging technology, look at what it will do to your organization and the world at large from a cybersecurity perspective. That's why the founder of OpenAI also said, right? He said this entire AI technology could be more dangerous than all the nuclear power that we have in the world put together. Back to you.
Now almost like 1,600 plus attacks in average for each company, I think, every week. So what is your take? Like, how do you manage in your day-to-day business?
So 1,600 attacks per hour in India, if you ask me, is still very, very underreported. How many of us know that there is a organization called Certain, which is mandated that any organization that gets attacked in India has to report to certain within 6 hours. I'm sure if I were to get people to raise their hands, only 10% people would, know about this regulation. And it's not their fault. It is because every time, every organization looks at cyber very, very differently. My advice to everybody would be very same. The concept is called security by design. Whether you start a new business function, open a new company, start a new product, think about security then.
Debajit, what is in your opinion?
Yeah, I will go for straight away to the topic. It is artificial intelligence. And I don't think I need any introduction because of his immense capability, innovation, and the way he is impacting human life. The way we communicate today, it has come to a new dimension. It has given us a new way of thinking of our life, culture, way of communication, way of reactions, etc. Think about the education. Self-educations can be decided by AI. The diagnosis of the disease can be decided by AI. Okay, like driverless car is thought of through AI. So I cannot think anything beyond that can be so innovative. And one more important thing is that it is not static. It is constantly evolving, and I do not know where is the limit. So we talk called sky is the limit. Maybe for AI it is beyond sky. So that's the reason I would straight away say that today which appeals more is artificial intelligence.
And in your company, for secure data management,
yes.
So how do you use?
Yeah, see, right now we have a data. I mean, if we talk about the data provider service providing by Azure or AWS, we do not need to think of separate security. The platform itself. If you have a data center, of course, you need to talk about certain Microsoft-based like Defenders and all to protect that. But more than the technological protections, I would emphasize, which may take some time to talk about, is the governance. Today, I think the biggest thing is the governance. Okay, unless and until we decide the accessibility, who should get which data, then whatever security you provide, that will not have a make sense. Like suppose I am not supposed to access any data and I get access. That is not good. So data governance, AI governance is a very, very important thing as much as we are excited about data and AI.
CP, you please.
So first of all, thanks NASSCOM team for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure to share my thoughts with an esteemed platform like this, like NASSCOM. And regarding your question, so I'm a technologist by heart, and asking which is the favorite technology to a technologist is like which of your kids are favorite. So for me, every technology is important, and I've been practicing technology almost now 25 years. And while AI is disrupting the business and is the favorite technology as of now and evolving beyond what we expected so far. But having said that, we should not forget that any technology in this world is just an enabler, and a technology should be human-centric. A technology should be empowering rather than overpowering. So while we are using or making best use of AI or artificial intelligence in various forms, and at the same time using hyperscalers for cloud-native computing, using blockchain for secured exchange of data and tokens, or maybe it's about cybersecurity and other technologies that we are using. End of the day, all technologies coming together should enable a business enterprise or an organization or a human to augment their capabilities and perform better than what they can do without that technology.
And how important it is in insurance?
So insurance, yes. So coming to insurance, I'm practicing insurance from last 12 years now. So in insurance is all about risk modeling and identifying and modeling the risk and mitigating it to the best of the abilities. And that's where technology role is paramount. Just to give you some insight into one of the most popular industries adopting generative AI and agentic AI is financial services and insurance industry today, just purely for the reason that the capabilities that generative AI and agentic AI brings to the table helps us to derive insights and intelligence from the tons of data that insurance companies have gathered across the 100 more than. So most of the large insurance companies are 100 years old, and they are sitting on the gold mine of data. That data is untapped. I'll give you some number today. Before ChatGPT becomes a disruption and generative AI is now so very popular, which has brought actually AI into mainstream. Before that happened, the companies, the business houses have only one way of tapping the data. That is structured data in your database, in your tables. The ability to extract and make a meaning and knowledge out of unstructured data in an image, audio, video, or a PDF, that is only possible with the advent of generative AI. And now we have capabilities to make meaningful use of 85% of the unstructured data that is lying over there for the last 50, 100 years, and using them to not only identify the risk, but also get intelligent recommendation to mitigate them.
You said the weakest kid is more close to the parents. But in technology world, the most aggressive kid is very close to the parents.
Thanks. That's what I said.
So, with regard to different technology uses, we are an automation of software engineering company. So we provide platform to automate DevSecOps process. So it's like today when you are looking at the factories, which is mostly automated because of the background automation that creeps in. Similarly, in software development, instead of manual work, manual development, manual security, manual deployment process, that entire automation has crept in. And maybe in the next few years, so you will see the softwares will be produced every couple of minutes instead of a few months today. So that's the change which is occurring, and the period is right now a reality. And another aspect, which is a quantum computing, if you imagine you have a pair of globes, and you keep these two globes in two identical baskets, and one you send it to the other part of the globe, like for example New York, and one globe is here. When you open it, then you will be knowing that what if you have the left globe, you will be knowing the right globe is in New York. But in quantum computing, it's a little tricky because there is a spooky action. Like when the person in New York will open the basket, you will be coming to know that he has opened the basket. So that is how, if you share the quantum key with the other, so you don't have to share the full key, but rather a part of the spin of quantum state. And that is exactly how the safety is arranged, unlike classical computing. And because quantum computing is very much in reality today, if you go to academics, they will tell it's there. When you talk to industry people, they will be saying that it's coming. But when quantum comes into industry, the acceleration will be fastest. So that is why this emerging technology to look out for. Now, going back to Jaspreet, I'll ask about blockchain and the security in blockchain, because that's his major focus today.
Perfect. So before 30 seconds before I touch on blockchain, two excellent points made, right? CP sir, you've had me worried when you said we have data for more than 100 years, right? From a cyber security perspective, everything that can go wrong is sitting right there. If you have 100 years old data, I don't even know how they are securing it, right? And you don't need to be a genius today to figure out what's happening in the cyber world. Every Monday you pick up Economic Times first page, you will see a company which has faced a cyber breach. And sir, with quantum, even more dangerous. How many people use 8 to 10 digit character passwords, 8 to 10 digits, multiple combinations, @, symbols, etc. How many people? 8 to 10? Yeah, I see a lot of intelligent people. Thank you for that. With a normal computing power that we have today, to break such a password will take about 3.5 years. A 10 character password, combination of special symbols, uppercase, middle case, etc., etc. With quantum, that will take about 3 minutes once we realize the full power of quantum computing, right? So maybe we'll have to look at blockchain as a security. So one of the projects that we did was for a fintech organization where we moved away from the entire OTPs, right? Where you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that OTPs can also be compromised. So we helped that entire fintech organization move on blockchain security so that within the organization, the entire two-factor authentication was taken care of. And it was a dynamic security implementation. Back to you.
Debajit, while you are working on ICT implementation in your company, so how do you ensure optimization and streamlining the data management and data processing?
Okay. Thank you very much. It's an excellent question. See, I happen to work for world's second largest shipping industry, and the name of the company is Mitsui Westgate Lines. Now, in shipping, we have two distinct areas. One is onshore, one is offshore. Offshore is the systems or IT inside the vessels. Now, there is a revolutionary change in the vessel because traditionally, vessel did not have a very good internet. Okay. Right now, you might be aware that there's a new internet service like Starlink has come up. It has done a revolutionary changes in the vessels. Okay. So, sensors are in place. Earlier, the information from the vessel used to come manually. Now the sensors are there and IoT data is coming. Okay. Now we are getting more and more data, and with the data, it is possible to have machine learning or AI-based applications, and we can do a better forecasting in terms of pollution, in terms of navigational speed, in terms of congestion, etc., etc. In this context, I will give you a very nice example, which is to meet the demand supply. You know that worldwide, huge amount of vessels are moving. I'm talking about the international trade. At the same time, there are demands. We have a specific use case which we have implemented. The use case is vessel positioning forecasting. There is a data called iOS data, and we are capturing the data to capture the vessel position worldwide. And then we are taking the demand. We are finding out which area the vessels are not deployed across the globe by all shipping lines where there are demands. So that is a fantastic use case and gives our company to deploy the vessels in the area where there are demands and the vessels are not deployed. So there are many use cases like that. Time is very short. I thought of giving you a fantastic use case for you so that the people know and get values out of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I will first add. So while my friend Jaspreet is on the cybersecurity side, I am sitting at the other side using quantum to build AI algorithms, which can do wonders, which we have not seen yet. But before I go there, let me give a good overview of this whole quantum evolution and why there's still challenges and why we have still a couple of 2 to 3 years at least of waiting time before quantum comes into reality. So it all started with the basic foundational concept of chip design, capable of only computing in 0 and 1. We all know, right? The standard chip has only 0 and 1. From CPUs, we went to GPUs where we have parallel computing, and now we have our Jensen Huang and NVIDIA coming with very powerful GPUs, which is capable of doing lot better computing than standard CPUs. But still, they are limited. So then the scientists, the researchers thought of what could be the best way to have a limitless scale for computing. And that's where we started thinking that instead of chip, if you can do the computing at the quanta is the smallest atomic nature that exists, in the air, in the nature. The nature is comprising of quanta and not chips. That's where we have a limitless potential and power in the nature in which we all live and survive. And that's where the whole concept of quantum computing has came. The only challenge is it is so versatile and so unstructured that in order to bring it into structure, we need to freeze it. And that's where the challenge, if minus 200 degrees Celsius and below, if you are freezing, imagine you have air waves, if you freeze it below minus 200 degree temperature, then you get a structure which you can use to define the state of a qubit, quantum bit. And that's how this whole quantum computing got a limitless potential. And as my friend Jaspreet rightly said, something that will take a normal computing or a CPU, GPU computing years can be done in a couple of minutes using quantum computing. Now what we are doing is, with AI evolution, we have seen that AI needs that hyperscale computing to evolve beyond the level where it is standing today. And that's where we are now having exclusive quantum native algorithms, AI algorithms, to bring next level of evolution in AI. And quantum native AI is the next R&D trend or popular research and development trend, where we very soon will see quantum native AI bringing more power, more evolution, better capabilities beyond the GPU bit native generative AI or AI that we are using today.
Thank you, CP. In fact, quantum computing, when we look at, there are two aspects to it. One is the quantum cryptography or the quantum computing itself. Second is the classical computing, which is quantum resistant. So when we are speaking about quantum resistant algorithms, which means to upgrade the algorithm, the current set of algorithms, that when the quantum computers would try to attack and subvert, they would not. So, which will take a few years. So that will make sure that, at least things are safe.
But you are still secure for few years only. You have to evolve further.
Yes. And quantum cryptography is essentially that you create, there are different algorithms like, which is Bennett-Prasad algorithm, which is called BB82, or E91, which is Eckert 91 algorithms. So they basically make sure that you can share the cryptographic keys across on the same classical channels. These are called QKD. Particularly China is the leader. It has its own QKD satellite, Mesicus, and there are 2,000 kilometers of QKD fiber line they have laid, so which is nowhere available in the world yet. But the QKD implementation is very costly because I'll not get deeper into quantum aspect. But there have been some work is going on. For example, IISER Berhampur, and very recently Batoi, my company, with SOA, we are working on quantum cryptography and also communication. So there are a few things which are happening. Quantum is not about just faster computer. It is rather to handle the more complex problem where there are a lot of parameters. If you want to do research in pharmaceutical, which will take like years to come up with new molecule or identifying exceptions, that you can handle within a few seconds. Yeah. So that's the scale that we are looking for. But again, going back to the security and the blockchain, there is one aspect is called real-time theft detection and handling. So whether it is quantum or no quantum, but we have to handle this. So how do you manage that?
So before I get into this, I get a feeling that this is a two-sided panel. Everybody here wants to embrace new technology, move in a fast car. I'm the one applying brakes on everybody, saying, let's think the speed at which we are going. But excellent question. I think if people own how many people own a smartwatch? Sorry, I keep asking questions. But I'm assuming today 60-70% people wear smartwatches, right?
You'll see
What-
some here.
Yeah, what does it do? It gives you real-time data about your health. What do you do with that data? Nothing, right? Unfortunately, that's what happening is in the security world also, right? You've got the best tools today available in the market, which can detect almost 90-95%. There's nothing called 100% detection, attacks on a real-time basis, right? But how do you take action on those attacks, right? I've seen some brilliant product companies with use cases using quantum that could probably solve almost 90-95% of security threats. But what can I do? I can inform an organization about a security threat that we found out. Then it's the case of having those people, process, and technologies in place, which again goes back to the fundamentals saying, if you keep your people, process, and technologies up to date, you can, very easily deal with real-time monitoring. And real-time monitoring is basically nothing but it's like sitting in a room 24/7. There are softwares available that monitor ingress and egress. Anything that is entering your organization and any data that is leaving your organization. And believe me, it's as simple as that.
Will you be able to give a small example, like a use case from your who's who businesses that you have handled, without naming maybe?
Pick up any company, right? What you can put the entire use case in three pieces. One is I can put it on a user computer. Any email that you sent out, the tool looks at the email, sees whether it is legitimate or not. Either it blocks it or it completely asks for the permission from a supervisor, right? Outside in, anybody trying to access your firewall or any security device, the SIEM software which is used for real-time detection tells you that this is an incoming connection, right? Do you want to allow this connection? Yes or no? So it gives you last mile decision making capability. But what happens is, unfortunately, on the other side of the room, there are humans, right? Who look at it, who detect, and who respond, right? Almost 70-75. So I do a lot of work with certain, with the government of India on some advanced attacks that have happened, right? Almost 70-75% cases, the attack was detected. It's just that the response was not good enough or was not timely to stop that attack. Every security event that you see starts from a small incident. It is how that you contain that incident from becoming a massacre is the entire game.
Debajit, while security has been a big word,
Right.
and AI you have been using in your processes, how do you manage operational efficiency and optimizing your supply chain?
Yeah, I think we talked about security too much, and I respect a few, but unless and until we have a good governance, that is not done. So first and foremost thing is the governance that is required, and most of the companies do not have that. I belong to a Japanese company, and they are very, very conservative. And I can see that a lot of governances are there on the data, but still the governance on AI is premature. And that's the reason we are getting a constraint. We have technology, we have solutions, but they are not believing that this AI is secured because we do not have a governance. So I would recommend that fundamental success criteria is good governance.
CP?
Yeah, I will take this forward, right? So I'll just in support of Jaspreet's point, right? I'll just take an analogy from a cricket game. The moment the bowler leaves the ball, fielder has to be on the toes and be proactive and be ready with all potential possibilities where the ball will hit, and potentially he will save a run or two. Similarly, in the security field, more than reactive or monitoring and reactive measures, proactive threat modeling is going to save the game and be more effective. So there is a concept of AI TRISM or zero trust architecture, and there are many security modeling that I personally have practiced and enforced in my organization, where rather than being reactive, we believe in more proactively looking for a potential threat. When everything is running fine, we are going to deliberately shoot some threats to the system and see if it fails, then system is not robust enough to respond to a threat. That is we call as penetration testing or resilience testing, threat modeling, proactive monitoring of all potential systems and the ecosystem in which we are working. Not just system, we may need to monitor geospatial data, we may need to monitor the data coming from IoT devices, data coming from the ecosystem in which we are doing the business to ensure that we have very secure enterprise to operate and deliver our business.
So are you saying that we should do some periodical VAPT kind of things and VAPT will be regular practice?
Yeah, it's not periodical, it's scheduled, almost every week we do that. So that's more proactive way of securing us rather than reacting.
What about implementation of DevSecOps?
Yeah,
So
DevSecOps is shift left, that is, and what I said is shift right. So DevSecOps comes when we are building the system. So when you are developing things, at that time you are making sure that from day one security is a priority. And what threat modeling and all this penetration testing is, once the system is developed and it is in production, then proactively we are making sure that any potential threat we are monitoring, identifying and securing our system.
Yeah, what I wanted to emphasize is that I agree with you as a proactive security implementation, and that's the reason DevSecOps is not at the time of implementation, much before implementation.
Absolutely.
What is there if there is a code itself that destroys the data?
That's right.
See, in the DevSecOps, the security starts from the day one in the design phase. So first you implement the hooks on the developer code base, and when the code migrates to its repository, there is a static analysis called SAST, and then when it moves in to deployment, then dynamic analysis called DAST. So that entire process, like a factory, this will go on from the day one. So that is essentially the process of DevSecOps, and to infuse the infrastructure into it, that is basically platform engineering. So the platform engineering and DevSecOps, this is almost like bread and butter of today's organization to implement infrastructure, sustainable infrastructure. And AI is instead of just for efficiency and also for example, to automation, it is more of personalization and creativity can also be extended. There is a question from my side. I wanted to know how you achieve personalization in your business process through AI.
Sure. So one of the key use cases or key capabilities delivered by AI is hyper personalization. And the beauty of AI, and especially now that AI has become so mainstream and has capability to process any kind of data, any format of data, when we talk about personalization, every persona in your system has or is generating some kind of data. In terms of emails, in terms of SMS, we all are personas of an enterprise. Someone is a developer, someone is a user, someone is an admin, someone is a customer, someone is an evaluator or reviewer. All the persona of an enterprise generate data in some form or the other. Maybe an image, audio, video, SMS, email. Now with the advent of AI, it is possible to automate an intelligent processing of data belonging to every single persona and understand the sentiment analysis, user behavioral pattern, and accordingly recommend the services from the system.
Jaspreet, as we are approaching...
Like Facebook.
Now, that is social media part. Hyper-personalization, with the advent of AI, hyper-personalization should be part of every single business process, be it insurance, banking, manufacturing, or a social media platform.
Okay, because we are running out of time, I would like to just have a concluding remark. Jaspreet, from your side.
So I think, sorry for scaring everybody on cyber, but what I'm really looking forward to is use cases when some of these technologies actually use or help cybersecurity in securing our organizations, in securing the nation. I think when we have more deeper quantum capabilities, that will help us fight cyber wars, which everybody knows, right? As we speak, there's a cyber war going on between three nations. Pick up any newspaper, you'll see talks about them targeting each other's critical infrastructure. How will some of the interesting next 3 years, 4 years, when quantum becomes more available, approachable, affordable, it would be very interesting to see how cybersecurity fails in some of these areas from a protection perspective.
Yeah. That was it.
Okay. So I think with the help of the computing power, AI can go to a different dimension, and it can really give us unlimited powers. That's all.
So now we are at the fag end of the discussion, but just to conclude, I will go back to the subject of the discussion, that is exploring emerging tech and their potential to propel innovation. So I would like to conclude with a famous quote, right? So, and which is very, very, very evident, applicable to all of us, that today's business world is so competitive, and that we are all in a rat race of beating each other. Forgetting that even if we win the race, we still remain a rat. That's why it's important to innovate. And that's why it is important to use technology to build something which is innovative, which is something new, and which brings a new perspective, new value for us as a business enterprise and for humanity at large. Thank you.
We didn't get a chance to discuss different aspects of emerging technologies, but to conclude, technology is like fire. You cook your food or you burn your house. It all depends on your choice and how you control it. So ethical thing also comes in. So thank you for listening so patiently. Thank you, my panelists. Thank you so much.